Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant XL figures from Playmates Toys. That's right, the Mutant XL line is a new series of large-scale action figures. Now, Playmates Toys is no stranger to giving us larger 12-inch scaled Ninja Turtles figures, but these here are a bit more like budget figures. A lot of the ones that we've received already have different gimmicks. They're definitely a little bit bigger and bulkier than these guys, so these are thinner, they have much more minimal articulation, and they retail for only around $12 a piece. You've probably seen other toy lines do this, like the Titans figures from Hasbro's line. There's a lot of Marvel figures already in this particular style. So Playmates Toys is now following suit with the TMNT, and kicking things off are the first four figures being the four turtles themselves. So as you can see, they come in window boxes. It showcases the figures within, just has the nice kind of bright green and yellow artwork at the bottom, letting you know that these are the Mutant XL figures. And if we rotate the boxes around to the backside, we just get a glimpse at the four figures currently available in this new series. So let's go ahead and get these guys opened up out of the window boxes and take a closer look at the action figures. Alright, so we've got our new XL mutants outside of the boxes so we can take a closer look at them. And we'll start with the tape measure so you guys can see that these actually stand just shy of 12 inches. They're right around the 11-inch mark, actually. So 11 inches tall, and they're a lot thinner than the other larger scale figures that we've seen. You can kind of tell that they've got sort of like these skinnier builds, and all four of them kind of share that exact same build. Now, that's not to say that they don't have any unique sculpting whatsoever, because you can see all of the torsos do have the unique sculpting to match their specific belt designs. But everything about these guys is a lot more minimal than what we've seen in some of the other figures. So, taking a look at the head sculpts, you'll notice that each of the head sculpts look very familiar to what we've seen on other incarnations of the Turtles from Playmates Toys. The sculpts look very similar to what we've seen on the smaller scale figures, as well as some of the other 12-inch figures. But one of the things that's worth noting that I believe makes these different is the way that the bandanas are sculpted. They are actually not sticking out off of the heads on this one. They are just kind of laying down flat on the back of the heads. So it just kind of makes these a bit more minimalistic in the overall sculpting there. And you'll kind of notice that throughout. There's just not a lot of extra details popping off of these guys. The paint jobs are pretty decent on there. There are some areas where there's no paint, like you can see the belts on the sides of the shells are all left completely unpainted. And then all of the weapons are the same color gray plastic across the board. So even the wooden weapons, like Michelangelo's nunchucks and Donatello's bow staff, are done in sort of this gray plastic. It's also worth noting that that material is a bit soft feeling. And Donatello doesn't want to stand up over here. So you can see they're a little softer and more flexible. It's not too bad. It's not like they are overly gummy, but they do feel a little softer than a lot of the other weapons that we've had in these figure lines. Mikey's specifically, I actually prefer, because you can see how flexible the nunchucks are. I like that a lot better on Mikey's weapon specifically. I hate it when it's a rigid plastic on the chain so that you can't even bend them. So these flex around pretty good, and I do kind of like that. So the articulation on these guys, as you can probably tell just by looking at them, is very, very minimal. Basically, we've got a ball-jointed head, so the head can look all around, left and right. The arms only move up and down at the shoulders, but we do have swivels at the wrists, so we have a little bit of extra use there. And then the legs just move forwards and backwards. That is really all you're going to get out of these guys. So these are not superposable by any means. They are also very lightweight. Now, I will say that they feel a lot more solid than, say, Hasbro's Titan Heroes line. I don't know if you guys have ever picked any of those up, but if you have, they are very hollow, very light action figures. So these feel a little bit more weighty than that, but mostly because of the torsos. The shells make these guys a little heavier. The rest of the figures feel very light and pretty hollow, just like those. So these are lightweight, like I just keep saying. They're just a lot more minimal all the way across the board. These are meant to be budget figures, something cheap that parents can pick up for their kids, and the kids can still bash around, because these are still great for that. These are absolutely the type of figures that kids can hold in their hands, and they're big and chunky, and they're perfect for bashing around and fighting. You'll kind of notice that they're a little loose on the legs, because they keep leaning forwards a little bit when I'm playing with them. But that's, I guess, really my only gripe, because otherwise, I knew exactly what I was getting into when I picked these up, and they're doing exactly what they're meant to do. They're meant to be a cheaper option for large, big figures that are perfect for kids to bash around and play with, and they definitely do a good job of capturing that. I honestly think these are done a little bit better than some of the other types of figures like this that are on store shelves right now, and I know that there's more characters coming, because at Toy Fair, we saw that there is an Usagi Yojimbo coming to this particular lineup. So there you guys go. There's a look at the brand new Mutant XL figures. These are definitely not going to be for everybody. They have a very niche audience, but I think they're going to be a lot of fun for kids, who are the target audience for these specific figures right here. But if you are into having some jumbo figures on your toy shelf, the good news is like I said, they're a bit cheaper. They retail for about $12, and they're showing up at stores like Toys R Us right now. So happy hunting, my friends! Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of the Mutant XL figures. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on a TMNT toy review. Until next time, my friends!